Usually when we are going through this humiliation ritual, is a humiliation ritual, and is usually created so that the person that is facing this ritual um, gives up, right? They feel hopeless. And so, by the person feeling hopeless and not having any support from their family, their connection to the world per se, right? When it comes to friends, co-workers, all of that, it's um, infected because the people who are behind the scenes, right, have created a false narrative about this person, so they take away any emotional and social support from for the individual. And then because they've infiltrated so much of the circle of the individual that's going through it, that individual really doesn't trust anybody around them, because this would have been something that had been going on for a very long time, where people were paid off to be friends, to befriend the person. People were paid off to come in and make contact with the person. And even as the person has removed themselves from the situation, from those people that have been attacking them, people are still being sent in as decoys so that they could gain information and bring it back to them, so that these people would know how to attack and what to attack, right? And so it's something that is unfortunate, one, but it exists, right? There's also the gang stalking on social media, where people would be paid to create multiple fake profiles, like an influctuating amount of fake profiles, so that the person can feel and know that they're being gang stalked, right? And there's also the physical gang stalking, where people are paid to park in front of someone's home, right? Or to follow them as they walk their dog, or follow them as they drive their vehicle, or to tamper with their vehicle. I experienced, tampering with my vehicle, where nails were being put in my car. As I shared, I had stopped working back in October of last year, right? October of 2025. And the source of income that I had was with my vehicle, where I would go and work Amazon while my children were at school. And then I'll be home before they got home from school. That way, if something was sent to social services, to child protective services, I would always be home, right? Not also and also because me and my children were under heavy spiritual warfare. So a lot of psychic attacks were sent, a lot of suicide spells, a lot of depression spell, a lot of anxiety spells, a lot of death spells, right? And when I say death spell, it's not only death where have a heart attack spell. It was death to your finances, death to your relationships, death to any creativity that you may have, right? So it is a situation where the person experiencing this is really forced to either go within and heal, or or take matters into their own hands by becoming the people that are attacking them, or healing, right? Healing. And also there's the other option, where people, unfortunately, they take their lives from this, because this is not something easy to deal with, especially when you are alone. Because you go and you speak, if you go and you tell a psychiatrist or a therapist this that's happening, they won't believe you, right? They'll think that you're making it up, because they don't believe that this dark magic happens, and then you don't have any proof of it, right? And even when you do go to the authorities, which is my case, I went to the authorities and made them aware that, hey, I was poisoned. People were sent into my life to poison me, right? And I went to the authorities and shared that with them. But the reason that I went to the authorities wasn't because of that. It was more deeply because what I found out was, the devil doesn't come into empty houses, right? The robbers don't come into empty houses. And so the goal of these people who are part of these secret societies and things like that, and unfortunately for me, my family was part of this specific secret society, and they worked with my family to get me, kidnapped, to get me sex trafficked, for my children's organs to be harvested, etc. Right? So because I had this information, and I knew that this was the case, because the thing is that they don't come for empty houses, right? So I was not aware that I had spiritual gifts when this was happening, but as I started to heal, my spiritual gifts starting to develop. And one of the gifts that I have is that I'm able to get messages in my dream state, right? And I'm also a medium. So it was everything was revealed to me little by little, because it was so much that it was hard to believe, right? If I were to share the whole story of how this has gone down, it would be hard to believe how many people were involved, because they didn't only do this for the spiritual inheritance that I was obtaining, which is why I speak on spiritual inheritance, right? Like, we don't have to wait till we die to get our spiritual inheritance. We all have a spiritual inheritance from the Most High God, who is our Father, right? We just have to claim it by healing and doing the inner work, right? So not only did they want my spiritual inheritance, but also my identity from when it comes to my biological parents has been hidden from me. So there's a physical inheritance that they were also trying to steal, right? Or that they stole. I'm not sure what the situation is with that one, but they were not only fighting for my spiritual inheritance, they were fighting for my physical inheritance. So it was deeper than that. And so the reason why I went to the authorities was because I found out about what they do with these children, how they're kidnapping these children, right? How they are they have this scheme set up where they send lovers in to portray to want to have a relationship with you, and what they do is that they end up actually having a relationship with you. Sometimes they'll marry you and they'll unalive you with witchcraft, right? And how people come in with different identities because they're connected with people in the government and things like that, so they're able to walk around with different identities where that's not even your name, type of scenario, right? And so it was hard for me. So I share this one to bring out awareness and to give you a bit on my background, right? Those were some of the things that I had to overcome, that I had to deal with, that I had to stay grounded and not lose my mind over it, and balance my light and my darkness, transmute the pain that I felt into something worth living for, right? Transmute the betrayals into light. And I did that by balancing my light and darkness, and accepting that in this reality we must have both. We must have both light and darkness in order to thrive, in order to find balance, right? And so a lot of the people that I have encountered, including family, right, they went into the dark, right? And so I'm going to be back with a part 3 regarding what happens when we send this magic out, and how it turns, what's going to happen now.